Hello everyone and welcome to This Day. Today is Saturday, January 20th, and I'm your host, Bobby Higgins. Happy Saturday. We have a great show coming your way today. Up first, we have Annie McCary with the African American Heritage Club, and she's going to tell us all about their Valentine's show at the Performing Arts Center that's coming up later this month. And after that, Bobby Wise and Dawn Barnes are here with the Ballroom Dance Club, and they're going to share with us their love of this sport. Yep, just like pickleball or any other sport, dance is arts, but it's also a sport. So now let's take a look at today's Stay Informed and Informational Joint Replacement Expo is coming up your way on Monday, January 29th at 5 p.m. in Clubhouse 5. If you need relief from joint pain or if you're curious about how to care for your joints as you age, then come join Memorial Care's Saddleback Medical Center for this educational expo where you're going to meet the doctors, you can ask questions, and you can find out about the latest joint replacement technology, plus a whole lot more. Now let's take a look outside at the weather. It is time to get out the umbrellas. Rain is coming. There's a 30% chance of rain and drizzle in the afternoon today. Tomorrow there'll be a 30% chance of rain as well. But on Monday, that's when we'll get the most wetness from this storm with a 70% chance of rain. We'll have heavy showers starting in the morning and scattered showers throughout the day. And now looking at your sunrise and sunset, we have a picture from Mark Rabinowitz of a hawk. Here, one of the local birds in our area. It's such a great shot. Thank you, Mark. Your sunrise was at 6:53 a.m. this morning, and your sunset will be at 5:10 p.m. tonight. I just love it. It's getting later and later every day. If you would like to have your pictures featured here on This Day, please email them to us at Laguna Woods Village TV at gmail.com. Stay with us. We have the African American Heritage Club coming up right after this.
Irvine Barclay Theater is your home for the best in live entertainment. Here's what's coming up next. For tickets and information, visit thebarclay.org.
Holidays just ended, and now it's time to start planning for Valentine's Day. And no better way to do that is go to a show, bring a date, have some fun. Want to welcome Annie McCary with the African American Heritage Club, president there, and Gary Stevens from the Delphonics. Thank you for joining us. Gary, we're going to get to you in just a second, but first, Annie, you guys just did a MLK event, and it was a pretty great partnership you had with the Theater Guild. Tell us a little bit about how that went.
Well, it went very well. We partnered with them to do more of a reading of poetry by some of the African Americans of years past, where there was poetry reading from Maya Angelou, from Dr. King, from Langston Hughes, just a whole bunch of an array of poetry reading in honor of coming up to celebrating Dr. Martin Luther King's Day.
And now we're going to celebrate Valentine's Day, a slight change of gears here, but Gary Stevens, welcome to the program, the Delphonics. Now you're not an original member, but you performed with some of the originals, right? You worked with some of the original members of the Delphonics. Tell me about that.
Absolutely. There were really four Delphonics: William Hart, Wilbur Hart, Major Harris, and Randy Kane. And Randy Kane and Wilbur Hart left the group, and then they established a new Delphonic group with me as a lead vocalist. I'm honored, by the way, to do that. I've had the time of my life. I love entertaining more than anything else in the world, and we get a chance to bring back love memories to couples and to bring a different kind of memory to single women. So I'm excited to be here to perform for you guys on February 10th.
Now, Annie's coming up on the 10th of February, ahead of Valentine's Day. What made you guys say, hey, the Delphonics, how did this all come together?
Well, it was actually a group decision. in a group idea, one of our board members actually said, hey, I know a member of the Delphonics, and they actually live here in the village. How about if we reach out to them to see if they would do a concert for us? Since February is Black History Month, it's Valentine's Day, and we just decided that it would be a great way to just bring the two together. So we reached out to Gary and Maurice, which you'll meet later,
Yes.
and they said yes. And so now we're in the process of promoting the Delphonics Review.
Here, tell us about some of the hit songs that people would be familiar with when they hear them from the Delphonics.
I want to say the biggest 4 hits would be La La Means I Love You, Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time, Hey Love, and When You Get Right Down to It. With the biggest seller of records was Didn't I Blow Your Mind This Time, but the most popular song is La La Means I Love You, which everybody knows is very easy to sing, and everybody understands about the one thing that we sing about, love.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a great time for it. Now, Valentine's Day isn't always the best day for some folks that are kind of alone. So, what do you guys do in the show to make maybe some folks feel a little bit like, okay, I'm not so alone, or get down there in the audience? You have a lot of participation, interaction.
A lot of participation, and I'm going to say first, can I just speak to the couples for a second?
Sure.
If you're a couple and you've been married over 10 years, you don't want to miss this show. We're going to do something very special. We're going to remind the husbands of what wives are being treated like, or what they're supposed to be treated like, and then when it comes to the single women, I promise you that the three of us are going to engage them in everything that we do. I'm going to come off the stage and grab some single women and maybe a couple of couples and sing to them and
grab
empower
them appropriately.
I'll make sure I'm appropriate. But I enjoy that people become a part of our show. We still give the show, we still sing all the songs, but I like to engage the audience, because the one thing that we all know, everybody knows something about, is the word love, and that's all we sing about. Is a love story, and we're going to be giving that in music, and we have an 8-piece band, and we're going to be dressed for success, and it's going to be a great evening.
Okay, let's bring Maurice in here real quick, one of our residents of Laguna Woods Village and a member of the Delphonics, which is kind of pretty cool that you would get that. Hey, we just happen to have a member living in the area. Come on in, Maurice. And I wanted to say hello to Maurice. And Maurice, when they came to you and said, hey, I think we'd like to have you guys maybe perform, your instantly was just absolutely a yes?
Instantly, yes. Of course we will. We love people, we love performing, love singing. And as Gary mentioned, we love the women, of course, respectfully.
How long have you lived in the village?
5 years.
Okay, do people come up and do people know you're in the Delphonics? I mean, is it kind of one of those say, hey, what do you do for a living? No, Andy, you came to these guys and said, hey, let's do this performance, and what was your expectation up front? Were you think, okay, did you know how these guys are?
Absolutely. Well, I grew up with the music, so I knew about the music, and I've seen concerts on TV recordings, and I just thought, this is amazing. We absolutely have to do this.
Yeah, and I tell you, I on KRF 101 was one of the channels I loved to listen when I was younger, and I was like one of these kids who like the oldies, want to hear it. But the Delphonics, I mean, tell you, that's some fantastic music.
Very timeless,
wonderful.
absolutely.
And you guys perform a lot here and there, off and on. What's
here and there, off and on? We were back east in Connecticut. We're going to be going to Pennsylvania here very shortly. I want to just share something with you that's very important. When I was 15 years old, the original group came out. And when I heard William Hart sing for the first time, I said, that's what I want to do. And I told one of my classmates, one day I'm going to be a Delphonic. And he was holding his stomach laughing.
Really?
Because he didn't believe it. He said, why do you think that you would become a Delphonic when this group just came out with one of the biggest hits at that time?
Yeah.
And I said, well, my father was a pastor, and I've been singing since I was 4 years old. I can play the piano a little bit, the guitar a little bit, but most importantly, I can sing and I can dance. So what I think has come to the group that's a little bit different, our dancing ability is, I am a choreographic guy, and Maurice is a unbelievable dancer, and I think we bring the harmonic experience to the audience, and we let them know why they are listening to a certain song that brings back a certain memory. So.
And Maurice, when did you join, and how did you get involved in the first place?
Reputation. I had a reputation playing locally around. He needed another member to replace a member that had left. And I got the call. Now, the funny thing about it, he was looking for someone that was 6 feet tall. Well, I'm only 5'8".
Well, he's willing to make an exception.
Now, he called me up, I went to meet with him, and we spoke. And I got together, we sang a little bit, and he showed me a few steps. Wow, this is kind of the choreography, so I did that. He go, wow, you picked up pretty quick. So we had a show coming up. And he said, hey, Maurice, have you told people about the show? I said, no. He said, why? I said, you didn't tell me I was in the group.
This is the longest audition ever.
He said, well, no, you're in the group. He said, yeah, you're in the group. I said, so tell people. I said, okay, I'm in the group. So that's how we met. Everything worked out. The jail. I said, well, what about the height? He goes, oh, I'm not even missing that. So I'm like, okay, cool. So that's how, we got together. So it's been about 3 years now, the length of time.
Terrific. And you're supposed to be retired, though, right? You're supposed to be enjoying the retired life here in Laguna Woods Village.
This is the retired
Not
life.
if you enjoy performing. People that enjoy performing, they enjoy it to the maximum level. Look, I turned 70 in December. December of last year, I turned 70, and I think that I am better now than I was when I was 50. I can dance better. God has blessed me to take care of myself and to exercise and to do some vocal stuff every single day of the week. So we are very blessed. I was honored and blessed to have him. Our other guy, his name is David, and we put on a show. So what I'm going to promise the audience is if you come to our show, you will not stop watching us because we have all kind of, I went to a choreographic school in Philadelphia, and we are totally moving and doing things that will empower the audience.
Well, you got more energy than I do. I'm 56. I hope I'm doing that well when I'm 70. Andy, tell us a little bit more about the show coming up. Where can people get tickets and all that fun stuff?
The show is coming up on Saturday, February 10th at 7 o'clock p.m. and is at the Performing Arts Center. Tickets can be purchased online at tickets.lagunawoodsvillage.com.
Okay.
Or Performing Arts Center.
And what else do you have planned? Give me a quick highlight of other things you might have coming up for the rest of the year. What are some of the big events? I mean, Delphonics is probably going to be the highlight. Let's not lie about that. But what are other things there? What can we look forward to from the Heritage Club?
Actually, next month is actually Black History Month, so we will be doing some celebration around Black History Month. We will be attending the Orange County annual Black History Parade that's coming up in February.
Terrific. Always in Santa Ana. Every year it's a great parade.
It's a wonderful parade, and our club has been participating since we've been in existence. So we will be doing that. And of course, our big event of the year is our Juneteenth celebration, which is coming up, which has just been blown out of the park the last couple of years. So we have that.
What's that celebration include? What have you guys been doing with that?
Last year we did a New Orleans review, a Louisiana review, where we had the second line dance group come. We had singing and dancing. We had praise dancers. So it was an amazing event, absolutely amazing. Okay. And then in September, coming up, we have a tribute to Carlos Santana. Music tribute. One of our members is, we're going to actually, one of the members of the Santana Band is going to be, former member of the Santana Band is going to be here in September.
Terrific.
Tony Lindsay, who sang with Carlos Santana.
And of course, Saturday, February 10th, we don't want to miss that Delphonics over at the Performing Arts Center. It's going to be a great show. Make sure you get those tickets. And I didn't ask you guys ahead of time to do this, but maybe as we leave, as we say goodbye, and I thank everybody for joining us, maybe a little "La La La" means I love you on the way out.
Well, really, you should never do that because you want to make the audience come and see you.
Give us a little teaser, teaser as we leave.
But for you, we just give you one line. La 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 means. Can you sing it?
No. I can hum it.
So I want to say one more thing to
one more thing
to the ladies, the single ladies, the couples you guys are taking care of. We're going to empower your lives. But the single women, you come to this show, I promise you, you will not feel single on this show because we're going to make you our dates for the evening.
You will be included and embraced in a good way.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen.
And I just want to say, this coming Saturday is our monthly African American Heritage Club meeting. And so we will continue our honoring Dr. Martin Luther King, where we are collecting socks and blankets and other warmth items that we donate to the homeless.
Fantastic. It's a great way to close out the program. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
You're watching This Day. We'll be right back.
If you're driven by an adventurous heart, you're in luck. The 2024 Subaru Outback shares your spirit with standard symmetrical all-wheel drive and up to 32 miles per gallon. Plus, 97% of Outback vehicles sold in the last 10 years are still on the road today. The 2024 Subaru Outback. Go where love takes you.
Irvine Subaru. Buy online, just come in to sign. Get 2 years complimentary maintenance included on all new Subarus.
Welcome back to This Day. Have you ever watched Dancing with the Stars and thought, gosh, I'd love to do that? Well, now is your chance, because joining me today with the Ballroom Dance Club, we have Bobby Wise and Dawn Barnes. And welcome. So nice to see you guys.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
And I just love it. We were saying, oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever met another person with the name Bobby, and that we spell it the same way with an I. Any story behind your name?
Well, actually, my legal name is Barbara, but when I was a teenager, they called me Bobby. So when I moved to the woods, I changed back to Bobby so I could be young again.
I love it. That's cute. I actually, when I was getting married, some of my husband's my mother-in-law's friends were upset that I did not have Barbara on the invitation. But what they didn't realize is that my real name is Bobby. So my dad was from Kansas, and so it's Bobby Jean, so it's kind of Southern, I guess.
Fabulous.
But I always grew up saying it's Bobby with an I for a girl.
Yeah.
But anyway, tell me about your background. Dawn, let's start with you. Tell me about your background and how you got into ballroom dancing.
My parents were dancers. They met in the San Fernando Valley back in the 30s when dances was big. Mom sold tickets at a place called Jim Jeffries Barn, which was a dance hall, and my dad went there to dance, and that's where it started.
Oh, that's wonderful. What would you say is that you love about ballroom dancing?
When I dance, I always have a big smile on my face, and several people have commented about it, and especially the men. Many of them, they're thinking too hard. And I tell them, music is playing, and I feel the music, and I'm holding a woman, and we're moving and touching and moving together to the music. How could I not smile in that situation?
Yeah, absolutely. And Bobby, what is your background? How did you get into ballroom dancing?
Well, you mentioned Dancing with the Stars, and when it first came out, I believe it was in the summer of 2005, and I saw them out there dancing. Two people together, moving at the same time to the music, as Dawn was saying. And I looked at that, and of course the women were wearing gorgeous gowns, and I said, I want to do that. So I drove right down the street. There was a dance studio down there, and I walked in, and I had 2 left feet, and I just started taking lessons and started learning how to do it.
Oh my gosh, wow. That's incredible. What an incredible story that the TV show influenced you.
It did, totally. Absolutely, totally.
I
loved
love
it.
that.
Yeah.
What would you say, what would you guys say are the benefits for ballroom dancing here in the village?
Socialization is the biggest one. And the government and other people have done enough studies that at our age groups, dementia is an issue, and socialization is by far the #1 preventative for dementia. All the statistics show that. The second best thing is learning something new that involves mental, physical, and emotional. And the one thing that stands out there is dancing and dance lessons with multiple partners. It's all new. You're learning, you're creating, you're keeping your brain active, you're keeping your body active, your emotions are moving. So the entire part, everything of the body is just going. The person is just out there doing it, and it's fun.
Absolutely, absolutely. Have either of you ever competed in ballroom dancing?
Actually, I have.
Oh, you
I
have?
have done quite a bit of competitions over the years, and that's where, again, you're doing similar what you do with Dancing with the Stars. You're dancing with a professional. You're dancing with your teacher. And then they have various competitions all around the country, all around the world, actually. And I was very fortunate to dance in a competition in England one of the very top ones there. That was just total fun.
Oh my gosh, what an incredible experience.
Yes, it is. And like Don was saying, it's dancing to the music and feeling the music and actually being connected to another person. And there's lots of dancing here in the village. You know, a lot of rock and rollers and freestylers, and they love it. It's great.
Yeah.
And they're out there on the floor having a blast, and they're feeling the music themselves, what they enjoy. And with us, we love being connected to somebody, and we have to stay together. We're matching each other. And when we're moving around the floor fast, it's two people flying around that floor 100 miles an hour, and you're together with the music. It's very exhilarating. It's very exciting.
Oh, wow. And I'm sure that takes a lot of practice to get there.
It does. It's a lot of practice. And what Don was saying, I'd like to add to that, is that it really makes you think, and that you're thinking, and you have to coordinate your mind with your feet and your body, and you have to coordinate that with the music and the style of music that's being played.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm sure it's a passion. I mean, it just becomes fun. You don't even realize you're exercising. You don't realize you're working your brain. It's just something that's so enjoyable that you want to keep doing it, and you enjoy keep doing it. And that's the lovely part about it, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say, to keep active, do something you love.
Right.
It is, and there are people that come to the dances basically every week that are in their mid to late 90s
Yes.
Oh,
and
wow.
still doing it.
Wow.
Now, they don't move like I do, they don't move like Bobby does, and they're having a wonderful time, and they're volunteering, they help out with the clubs, they're club members, they're club officers, and they dance, and they're role models for me to go forward. Gee, I can be doing that for another 10 or 15 or 20 years.
That's incredible.
And
yeah.
it's just fabulous.
So tell us about, how people can get involved in this club and start to learn ballroom dancing and to have a passion for it like you guys do.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's easy. Come to Clubhouse 7 on Sunday night, 5:45, and take a lesson. Or if you already know how to dance, come at 7 o'clock and dance for 2 hours. And if you can't do it on Sunday, go to Clubhouse 5 on Friday and be there at 7:30, 7 o'clock. They have a 2-hour dance on Friday night there, ballroom dance.
Oh, wow.
And so there's 2 places in the village, and of course there's lots of places outside, but you have Clubhouse 7, Clubhouse 5, and just show up and pay your $5, join the club for a few bucks, and just get out there and dance. And there's lots, 20, 30, 40 people.
yeah.
Wow.
And they do all of the ballroom dances, and you can participate as much or as little as you want. It's fabulous.
Yeah, and I'd like to also add to that again, the lessons involved, because we do have, it's just like, I like to kind of compare it to pickleball, which has been a rage these last few years.
Yes.
If you've never played pickleball, then you do have to go and take lessons and take classes and practice the techniques of how to do a serve or whatever. And we actually call ballroom dancing as a dance sport. So you do have to learn the steps and the moves and the techniques. And also with the lessons before our dances that Don mentioned, is we also have lessons here in the village, very good, on Mondays and Friday mornings at Clubhouse 1.
Oh, okay.
They have lessons with Candy Davis and also Ed Van Ornum. Excellent for people wanting to learn.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great that there's so many opportunities to do the lessons and then to go to the dances and practice what you've learned. So at the dances, they'll be playing different music, and so different music signifies like which dance you do, whether it be the foxtrot or the waltz or whatever. Is that how it works?
Yes, the DJ or the band will call out what dance is next. So they're saying, okay, now it's a foxtrot. So everyone gets up on the floor and does the foxtrot. So we kind of have to stay with that so we don't have anybody bumping into each other, I guess you might say, because we are moving around the floor pretty quickly.
Yeah.
And then, or if it's a cha-cha, they'll announce this is a cha-cha. And
I remember years ago, my husband and I were getting married. We were learning ballroom dancing, and we went to a dance, and we only knew one dance. So we sat and watched a lot of the other dances. But then when it was the dance we knew, we jumped up and went out and danced that dance, and it was definitely a lot of fun. But then I don't know, we started having kids or something.
Oh yeah, that did it.
We got busy. So one day we'll get back to it. But I think we also have a picture of your new board of directors. You wanted to say a little something about them?
Yeah, we just have a new board, and here they are, right behind us. Yeah, and we're all new at this, and I'm fairly new to the village. I've just been here 7 months.
Oh, wow.
And so we kind of put ourselves together, and we have a lot of new and exciting events coming up. We have some new dances we're going to be teaching, and also we're going to be doing some line dances and some mixers. We call them mixers, where we change partners during the dance. Yes, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, well, this sounds like some great events coming up. Thank you guys for coming on. It's definitely a good time to be a member here.
It is. It definitely is.
Well, come join the Ballroom Dance Club on Sunday nights in Clubhouse 7 from 7 to 9 p.m. If you need a little extra teaching, you can come early at 5:45 for dance lessons. And for any questions, email ballroomdanceclublwv@gmail.com. Stay with us. We'll have more of This Day right after this.
How do you comfort a family who's experienced a loss? At O'Connor Mortuary, we start by welcoming them into our space, where families of all faiths and cultures belong. We allow them the time to process their grief, providing guidance when it's needed and listening intently when it's not. We gather the values, the stories, the relationships, and the dreams together and use them to shape the memory of their loved one into a beautiful experience they'll cherish forever. When your family is in need of true comfort, call O'Connor Mortuary.
Welcome back to This Day. Let's take a look at the movie presentation coming up here on Village Television for today. Today's movie is King Arthur, Legend of the Sword, and is brought to you by Saddleback Memorial Care. After the murder of his father, young Arthur's power-hungry uncle seizes control of the crown. Robbed of his birthright, he grows up the hard way in the back alleys of the city, not knowing who he truly is. When fate leads him to pull the Excalibur sword from the stone, Arthur embraces his true destiny to become a legendary fighter and leader. And now we have some announcements and events coming up here in the village. First off, Boomers Club welcomes Southland Mega Groove and this Saturday, January 20th in Clubhouse 5. Doors open at 6 p.m. and dancing starts at 7. First come, first serve. Just pay $15 at the door and bring your own everything for a really fun night. And make sure you get out your umbrellas this weekend for the weather. There's some rain today, a little bit of rain tomorrow on Sunday, and Monday it'll be a bit more of a heavy rain coming up. I hope you all have a wonderful, enjoyable weekend. I'm actually headed up to USC for a cheer competition with my son right after this. So have a great weekend, and we will see you next week. Take care.